very appropriate that you call me Big Brother God.
Do you like that? I said yes, Big Brother God.
I heard.
That was for you, baby. I want to just all over you. How's that?
Ooh, kinky.
Yes. You said a lot of stuff in here, I'll tell you. That's out of control, but that's okay. I guess we saw that, didn't we?
Yes.
Man, how do I look?
You look good. I'd say little in the back. There's one curl that was a little.
It was a little off.
Up.
All right. See, that's why I need you.
See,
I need you in my life. You know.
I'm telling you. I'm just.
All right. What about now?
Get down. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's better.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Thank you, darling.
So you're comfortable?
I am. Yes. I'm making myself look good for you. So do I look good? Everything.
You look amazing.
Okay. Thank you.
So, first off the eyes, then we can discuss the veto meeting. What did the veto meeting go as you thought it was going to go?
You know, I honestly can say that I knew Jerry was going to do something. He told me a little bit of what he was going to say. Just some of the things he said kind of caught me off a little bit. Expect the unexpected. When someone says that, you expect them to do something. So that kind of caught me off. A lot of the things he said, he's already said to me. You know, he's already said to me about, he's the one that actually told me about Dan saying that he got threatened to do it, which, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Even if he did get threatened, which I believe he probably did, or he's the one that masterminded the whole thing. You can't threaten anybody in this house. I mean, like, come on. Nobody's going to strong arm you, because once you go into this room and you make the vote, it's just you by yourself. No one's holding your hand. No one's twisting your arm. I knew he was, because like I said, he's already said and said all this stuff about the in his house. You know, Dan, you know, should wear the cross and Judaism and all this stuff like that. So all that has already been said. It was the expect unexpected. He told me not to be surprised. He told me a little bit what he was going to say. But then he went with the last things with the, I think he kind of thinks that having the power of veto, that he can actually nominate somebody by what he was saying. And he's sadly mistaken. I mean, I'm not, I might as well just hand him over my key, because I think he thought that by saying that he could put Dan up. Well, if he was going to use the power of veto, I was going to throw a little loop in it and not put Dan up. So I was actually I was going to put up Rennie. And that would have really screwed up everything. But that was the only way I knew that Lieber was going to go. And actually depended on who he was going to take off. Because if he really wanted to get crazy, he could have taken off Lieber if he wanted Dan off. Knowing that I want Lieber out, he could have put Dan in place of Lieber. But I think he might have used it on Keisha. And then I would have said to myself, well, I can't risk putting Dan up if I don't know where everybody stands in the house with Dan. If that means Dan could possibly go and Lieber would stay. So I would have to make sure I put somebody that they wouldn't vote for, which really would suck for me. So he kind of put me in an awkward position. And like I said, I think he thought he was the one with the power, because he said, I have the power and I have the power to save you, and today's your lucky day. So I think he kind of went overboard a little bit, but a lot of people could care less what he said. A lot of people think that he's a liar, I guess, because he's been going around saying that
a lot of people think he's a liar, sorry.
A lot of people think that Jerry's a liar. He's the one to say quickly about all the, everybody going back on their word. And yet Jerry was going around saying that himself, Jerry, Ali, and Dan were in an alliance so that he could have everybody hate Dan. And I'm like, well, didn't you know by saying something like that you're throwing yourself and Ali under the bus? He was like, well, I just wanted everybody to turn on Dan. Well, you don't say like that you have a fake alliance to make somebody else look bad when you're making everybody in the alliance look bad. Like, he doesn't think. So a lot of things that come out of Jerry's mouth, everybody just basically, I don't really think care. They would just, the way it was going, they thought he was going to use it.
Would you have been angry at Jerry if Jerry would have used the power of veto?
Absolutely. And like I said, if he had used the power of veto, I would have been very pissed off, and I would have not given him his wish of putting Dan up. I already have told Dan why I didn't put him up, and he was surprised that I didn't put him up for nominations. At that point, like I said, if he wanted to use the power of veto, I couldn't put Dan up because that would mean that, maybe possibly Lieber might stay with the votes compared to Dan, because I didn't know what everybody was feeling at that time. So I would have definitely had, put, now, never mind, 2 people up, 3rd person up, that wouldn't even make sense, and have a lot of people mad at me. So I would have been very pissed off, and I feel as though if people want to do stuff, they have the time and the place to do it with HOH, and you can do and say anything you want. And I'm making the people feel like they were going to get maybe possibility of getting the power of veto used on them, and then just for somebody to have the platform to say stuff, I feel bad for them, but it is a game. You can't control what people say, what people do, what people think, what people feel. Only thing you can control is what you say, what you think, what you feel. And you can't spend the whole game trying to control other people. You just got to control the things that come out of your mouth. So I'm not going to sit here and wonder anymore about it. That's just encouraging people to keep doing stuff like that, and I'm not going to do it. So everyone thinks that he's crazy anyway, so I think people just brush their shoulders of it and just, let's move on. They all thought it was weird and didn't know what was going to happen. But, I spoke to a couple people, and everybody had the same thing to say. They don't really believe a lot of things that he says, so it's kind of, whatever.
No, I hear you. So it means, like, when everything was starting to happen, did you have a moment of concern that he was going to use it?
I did, because, he told me not to be surprised. He said he was going to say some things to Dan about what he felt about Dan and possibly the other people. But I didn't, the certain words that he used, expect the unexpected. That kind of caught me off guard, because when somebody says that, they're going to do something.